So me, myself, and a couple of my friends are actually participating in another bowling tournament here in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. It's at Wangsa Bowl. It's been getting quite difficult for me to record and edit my videos because I am back bowling. Expect more videos of me bowling, but in the meantime I do try to churn out more of these weekend videos because, you know, it's what I do. And it's quite fun. It's really fun. I'm really enjoying this. Okay, hey, my name is Danny and this is another episode of my Brunei weekend. So I just wanted to talk about what I did last few weekends ago. You know, we always fly out over the weekend, you know, trying to spend like the weekends elsewhere, not just being here in Brunei itself.
Time to fly.
Typically, Bruneians would either go to, you know, Miri, they go fly over to Singapore, Malaysia, or Indonesia, Jakarta, just somewhere around the region where it's nearby. We all go out over the weekend outside the country for many reasons. Either you want to meet family, got some training courses to attend to, or you got some business to attend to. But for us, me and my friends, we went out because we had a bowling tournament. Yes, bowling tournament. So it's quite common for us Bruneians to fly out over the weekend just to escape this small place on a small island here on Borneo. But you know, I have to say there's no place like home. So we have several more weekends coming up. Where do you guys plan to fly to? I'm sure you guys are going out. The closest place that you might go to is Miri. But I'm sure you all have went to KK or Kuching or maybe all the way to Singapore, whatnot. Yeah. Do leave your comment below and tell me where is the last place that you visited overseas during weekend. Yeah, message down below. As we all may know and we all have practiced, we don't fly direct to Malaysia or Singapore. We go through Miri because through Miri we can take a domestic flight to KL in Semenanjung through AirAsia, which has some of the best and cheapest rates around. So Bruneians would drive all the way over to Miri, hop on an airplane, fly over to KL, and then, you know, go to our destination. And it is relatively cheap. You save maybe up to 200 Brunei dollars, so that's quite a really good deal.
Hooray!
On the downside, you have to admit, you spend a lot of time traveling, going on buses, going on cars, going on airplanes, changing airplanes. It just takes too much time and it gets you really tired. So whether it's worth it or not, I'll leave that for you to decide. Otherwise, you know, it's cheap, so just go. Hired a van to send us to Miri and pick us back from Miri. Really saves the hassle of getting someone to drive for you or you driving yourself. Immigration, lucky for us, was smooth. We didn't have that many cars during that time and we arrived on time. So our flight was in the evening and we had a few more hours to kill.
We need to make a brief pit stop.
Of course, you cannot not visit the restaurants over there. So we went to this nasi lemak restaurant. It was a good pit stop. Everyone who goes to Miri, I'm sure you all have your makan and just pick your favorite place. What's your favorite place to eat in Miri? Do leave a comment below. Let me know. Maybe if I'm in Miri, I'll go there again. So after that delicious nasi lemak, we made our way to the airport. As I said, my flight was in the evening. It's actually at 10 p.m. And we arrived slightly kind of early. Always remember, it's important to wrap your bag. Okay, so I was a bit skeptical about wrapping my luggage, but my friends talked me into it.
Don't underestimate the force.
It is a lot more safe for you to make sure that it's wrapped so that no one tampers with it. Okay, so remember, come by, get some money ready because you gotta wrap all your luggage. Of course, my bag has a lock on it, so I didn't wrap that one. But my bowling bag, our bowling bags, yeah, we made sure that it was wrapped properly. A few more hours to kill and we didn't have anything to do, so I just checked in early, waited at the waiting area for the next few hours. Surprise, surprise, our flight was delayed from 10 to 12 a.m. Yep, an extra 2 more hours, which was not anticipated. And we can't go out because we are already in what you call that waiting area. My battery was dying because I was watching videos all night long. Then finally, when the time was up, we got on board and flew all the way to Malaysia. Took us around 2 hours to reach KLIA 2, and that was already late in the morning. I was really hungry, didn't have anything to eat. The moment we arrived to KLIA 2, it was roughly around 2 to 2:30, and it took us another hour drive or 45-minute drive to our apartment at Putrajaya. And by then it was quite late, like 3 o'clock in the morning. Luckily for us, there was a convenience store nearby. It's one of those 24 hours convenience stores like 7-Eleven, but it was called My News something. It's really amazing place. It's my first time being in that kind of store. There were a lot of varieties of food, so there were tables there and we just sat there and talked. While drinking and eating food. We had a lot of fun, but we kind of went back to the apartment quite late. Around 4:30 to 5, I slept after that, but my friends couldn't sleep, and which is a big problem because we have a tournament that morning. We need to do our first block. Our first round of bowling was that early morning, and then we got another one the next day, and then the finals on the next day. So yeah, that was really tough. Some of them couldn't perform during bowling and they just call it quits. As for me, I tried my best, but seriously, I was really tired. Yeah, note to self, when you're going on competition, rest is paramount. It is really important. You gotta get your rest in, otherwise you might want to rethink whether you want to participate in the tournament during that day. If you could go on the next day, probably, right? Arrive at KLIA 2, 2:43 a.m. in the morning with the guys. We're waiting for the bags to come through the belt. Here one. Okay, so I'm dressed. So me, myself, and a couple of my friends are actually participating in another bowling tournament here in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. It's at Wangsa Bowl. So as I was saying, so I'm just doing a quick update. So this weekend we're finding like every weekend we want to travel, we want to go bowling, and this time around it's in KL. And this is one of the shirts that we made just particularly for this tournament. And I am trying to film as much as I can. So I've got like got my phones to film, and also I brought my camera, which as of late it's not really, not really seeing much action since I do most of my filming on my phone. Good thing it's also this place, it's an apartment. We gotta go real soon. Okay, my friend's calling me because I need to pack up and go to the bowling alley later. Had to leave in a rush. We're here waiting for a grab to go to the mall. We're gonna get something to eat, and probably after that we're gonna check out the lanes of Wang's Bowl. So like I said, we had a tournament to go to that morning. So it was at Wangsa Bowl, IOI City Mall in Putrajaya. I was told that the IOI Mall is the biggest mall in Malaysia.
I cannot believe it!
And they weren't kidding. I was walking from one end to one end and I haven't reached the end yet. If you haven't gone there, haven't been there, please do go and have a visit, have a look. There's plenty of things to see. Bring a lot of cash.
It's all about the cash, baby.
If you want to go shopping, that's a really good place to go. But otherwise, do spend a day or half a day there, see how it goes. Definitely worth going. First things first, like I said, we go to Wangsa Bowl, get ourselves registered, leave our bags there, and go get our breakfast, because when the tournament starts, you're not gonna have time to eat. One thing about the Wangsa Bowl bowling alley, it's really nice to see a bowling alley where there's a lot of people. It's always full. Even in the morning, there were people queuing up to play bowling. Not really the case in Brunei, because in Brunei, bowling, we only have like 2 centers functioning at the moment. And compared to that, the crowd, the number of people are playing is just enormous. So it's a huge difference, and it's really fun to see. There are a lot of people playing bowling. And the team, we actually made this shirt, so that we have like a team shirt, Bruneian team shirt. So it looked all nice and what do you call this? Like professional like.
No, I'm a professional.
One of the reasons why I do join bowling tournaments, why people join bowling tournaments, one, of course, is compete. You want to elevate your game, you want to push your limits. And secondly, for me, it's building up this community amongst Bruneian bowlers, and going overseas, building the community with our fellow bowlers here in Malaysia. And if you're good enough, and if you're lucky enough, you might actually win the cash prize. The cash prize for this was, I can't remember, was it 10,000 RM? Maybe, if I'm not mistaken, but it was tough competition. We didn't make it. I didn't make it top nothing. I just frizzled out, but that's okay. I enjoyed every moment of it. Hello. Oh. Bas kejap. a trip, especially over the weekend and having such little time to do anything, you gotta be focused. So priorities are bowling tournament. Secondary priorities, maybe we can go shopping and enjoy ourselves.
Alfred, let's go shopping.
I didn't really have any time to go around and buy my family some gifts and stuff like that. But when you have the time in between, just go and grab anything that you can. Every little moment that you have that you can go. Don't delay and say, oh, maybe I'll do it tomorrow, because tomorrow you will never have the time. In between tournaments, I went out, got my parents a couple of mugs, and that's about it. The following day, I just didn't have the time. So here are some of my takeaways. First things first, going through Miri and getting a cheaper ticket might be good because it's cheaper, but please take into consideration the flight time and the schedule. The transit time from Miri to KL was literally 10 hours. Another thing is getting an apartment. Apartments have been our go-to choice every time we go overseas. Hotels are more expensive, they're a bit more cramped, and apartments are a bit more cheaper and a bit more, big. Always try new food. When you go to overseas, like in Malaysia, there's plenty of foods that's not available in Brunei. Try them all. Try one restaurant today, try another restaurant the next day. And lastly, flying over the weekend, things might not go the way you wanted. So you gotta make the best out of it. Stay positive, chin up. For you to be able to stay positive, you're gonna have to have contingencies. What's my backup plan? What's my backup finances? You have extra cash in your pocket or not? Just in case. What's my backup go-to place in case the hotel, it didn't turn out well in the apartment or the hotel? Then you gotta have your backup plan. There's not many things that we can do here in Brunei, and if you ever had the chance to go overseas, just to get out of Brunei over the weekend, go ahead and do it and tell us all about it.
You do let me know.
My name is Denny. This is my Brunei weekend. A few weekends ago, we flew out to KL for a bowling tournament and we're back, and it was amazing. Till next time, bye.